Faders of the Lost Art.
Yo, welcome. We are on Faders of the Lost Art live at NAMM 2025. We're blessed to be here amongst audio royalty. Look at this, left to right, star-studded. The amount of gold, platinum, diamond records, you could probably fill up like 25 storage units with just the folks sitting here at this table. Bob Horn, legendary. Jean-Marie Horvat, legendary. Senator Jimmy Douglas, legendary. Dave Way, legendary. Dave Pensado, need I say more? Legendary.
This sounds like a Geritol commercial. It's like geriatric fucking mixing over here.
Favorite new plugin this year?
You want to go ahead?
The Mixwave Pull Tech. Actually, a lot of the Mixwave stuff, but the Pull Tech especially.
I think the Safari pedals have kind of.
Nice.
Is it only a year, or maybe it's more than a year?
About a year, you're right.
Yeah, that's one of the newer.
Yeah.
It's really sick.
Me personally, I kind of like the kits plugins.
Yeah.
The knees and shit like that. I really like that a lot.
KIT,
I like that,
Dave was telling me about
and
the KIT
also
stuff.
their whole line is really nice. Yeah, I do like the Safari though. I do like that.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome. What do you think, Jimmy?
The PSP, the one that have all the stuff in it, and you can move them around in different orders. You can have up to 7 things at once. Shit is awesome.
That's awesome.
We like it when they put everything in one plugin, right? That's what we're looking for.
You gotta go check out that shit over at Metric Halo, the Make Believe thing. You gotta check out that meld, man. You gotta go that
Meld,
shit. That shit's
Yo,
dope.
shout out Make Believe. They are killing
They're doing
it.
some stuff, yeah.
Where are they?
Metric Halo. You gotta check it out, Dave. It's like he got this thing called Meld. They did it with John Haynes down. He works with Serban all the time. He's doing like these Atmos mixes, and it's like this plugin that has like basically everything on there, and you can group everything and do the whole EQ. It's like going through its own little thing. It's amazing. It's actually really cool. I'm actually gonna go check him out after this again.
I'll do it.
Yeah. And it's also Dave Bendith came out with that reverb
that
shit.
reverb
It's
is
fucking crazy, right?
It's
amazing. It's amazing.
Can you tell me, amongst you guys, reverb is reverb?
It is.
So wait. So they keep coming out with reverbs. How many reverbs do we need?
One.
Okay, I'm just asking a question.
Well, the thing that I love about that, about David's, is that when we start doing like the more live sounding thing, that kind of works a little bit. But for me personally, my go-to reverb, there's only 2 I really use. And that's the Valhalla.
Okay.
And the thing from Slate, the classic Verb Suite.
Verb Suite Classics, yeah.
You got everything in there.
We got the whole Bricasti suite in there.
See, I fuck with that, the Bricasti Suite, which is the Shimmering Skies thing. Yes.
Fire.
Shimmering
Fire.
Skies.
What about clippers? You guys been seeing all the new clippers coming out?
I have no hair. I'm fucking bald. I don't need a clipper, goddammit.
I don't need fucking clippers.
Gold clip is
sweet. Orange clip.
Yeah.
I tend not to use clippers. I don't know why.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why. Dave?
I don't use maybe what would call dedicated clippers, that they would call it a clipper, but in a clipping function, I used to have the hardware versions of these Telefunken U373 tube limiters that were like amazing. And I don't even know who makes the plug-in version of it, but I found it and it sounds awesome.
Oh, wow.
And you drive it and it just never gets louder and it just gets more and more saturated.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's great. I don't know who makes it though. I can't tell you.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, but somebody out there does, and it's great. It's one of my
You just
favorites.
have it though. That's it.
I put it on everything. Yeah,
Nice.
That's like my favorite plugin right
It's
now.
like fucking
Yeah.
Prego. It's in there.
Yeah.
It's in there.
Yeah.
It's in there.
Sounds great.
What about you, Jim?
About what?
A clipper.
I've been using the gold clip thing only because they say you should.
In order to be certified, you have
I'm
to
just
use it.
saying,
Is that how it works?
yeah, something like that.
It's not a mix until you put a gold clipper on there.
It's in the cliff notes.
I'm still on standard clip. It's an oldie, but it's a goodie. Standard clip is my thing.
I just don't. Help me out, guys. I just don't know what the need of it is. It's like we can do the same thing by using like the whole the whole thing, like I like using Bob Clearmountain's Apogee Pool Tech. You can almost do the same damn thing. I mean, it gives it different colors, because I think sometimes when you use a clipper, it kind of loses stuff. And I know that we probably think the same way. Have you noticed that every time when you start taking off their plugins, off their reference mix, it seems like the mixes start blossoming. And the one thing I take off is a clipper. I wouldn't say gold clipper, because it does have a cool characteristic sound, but I take normally all that shit off. And it's like, so sometimes the clipper, I think the process that I do with mixing, I kind of tend to take it off because I start with vocals first.
Right.
And I try to mellowing things out, and it kind of works out for me, but maybe I'm just not understanding the whole clipper thing.
Well, it's basically chopping off your transient instead of a limiter smashing down a gain reduction.
Right.
It's just chopping it. So it can be more natural until you go too far.
And I think I go too far.
There you go.
Like this conversation, I sometimes go too far.
Hey, we're at NAMM. Anything goes.
Anything goes.
How are you guys feeling at NAMM? Any cool stuff you've seen so far?
Yes.
Talk to me.
Okay, so I went to Crane-born Audio.
Yep.
Did you see their harmonics thing?
Where you swap out the...
Yeah, but they got this harmonic thing that it's like digitally controlled. That
What?
shit, so you guys would love it, because I went, oh my God. It just added like color and characteristics to stuff. You gotta go check it out. This guy named Daniel showed it to me. And I went, this is Crane-born. Crane-born. They have the 500 things, the 500 thing that you can actually mix in there. So it's like you have your own faders in there. But they have one that's a standalone that is digitally controlled, but it's analog driven. So I thought that was really, really cool. And I might start using that. And it's actually really affordable. It's like $1,700. Now, I know we don't have $1,700 to mess around with, but that shit's better than like, I really like the Chord amplifiers, but my God, those Chord amplifiers are expensive, man. Wow. So that's the one thing I saw that I saw.
The Wolf Audio Patch Bay.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
Pro patch.
Yeah.
The Pro Patch. Shout out.
Patch Bay?
It's a patch bay that has no cables, so it's all software controlled.
It's really
if,
cool.
If you're about to track drums, you got a live room, you just push drum setup, all your drum patch cables are done.
Well, the next time I track drums, I'll be sure to
Right.
use it. But
But even like if you had a vocal chain and you got 5 compressors in the room, you could just keep swapping out compressors throughout the room faster than you could change a plugin.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I get it.
Dave has a boatload of gear that he would really love that.
Yeah.
Dave, it's
But
Well,
I
both
don't
days.
have a boat yet. That's my problem.
But you have the gift.
You have the load.
well, if you get the Wolf Audio, there's your boat.
Okay. Yeah.
It's actually
I try and avoid my patch bay at all costs. It's all
that's the
patched
beauty of
in
this
there.
thing.
And if I have to bring out my iPhone flashlight in
There you
order
go.
to get in, then it's like, oh.
Oh, so most recently, I started using my Neves again, and I have 8 of them. So I have like, okay, that sound doesn't work. Let's go to these. That's it. So I don't have to do recall
That's
notes.
exactly right. That's right.
Yeah, so have the 8. There it is.
So 5 and 6 are set different than 1 and 2.
I wish 5 was working. 6 is working. 5 ain't working because I got 1, 2, 3, 4,
7, 8.
4, 5, and then 7, 8. 6 is there for the fucking trooper.
What about you, Dave? What's your favorite?
I haven't seen anything yet. I walked in, 20 minutes ago, and I saw Dave,
Hey.
and we start talking, and then all of a sudden I'm here talking with you guys. So
What's up? And
how did that happen, Dave? You didn't tell me.
I didn't tell you because I didn't know.
I didn't check that out.
All right, so you're not to blame. Okay, it's Jean Marie. I think we ought to blame Jean Marie.
What did I do now?
Yeah,
Everything.
that's the question.
Well, you're breathing, so you're going to blame me for that? Jesus.
No, I
These are
haven't.
really
I
cool.
haven't seen anything yet. So, yeah, I'll see something. I don't know if I'm looking. I'm not necessarily looking for hardware. I've got enough hardware stuff. I'll look for some plugins, and
yeah, the make believe stuff Jean Marie was talking about was next level.
Now, did you see the thing that our boy Bruce Millett has, that console that he's making out there, that desk from Desk Doctor?
Oh yeah.
Did you see the Tangerine thing that they have, the fucking metering?
I haven't. I'm gonna go check it out.
Take a look at
Tell
that.
me
That's
about
actually
it.
kind of cool. It's like meters, but it's all digital meters, but it looks like analog VU meters.
Oh, wow.
Do you remember that thing that we had on the SSL? It was a DK spectrum analyzer. He has that. And it's like, it's a standalone thing, so it's like you can see VU meters. So if we're working inside the box, it makes you feel like you're cool and you're doing analog.
Throw it on your bridge.
Yeah, it's over, but it's digital.
Does it have the oscilloscope?
Yeah.
Like the SSL?
Yeah. It's pretty wild. It's down there. I saw that this morning because I got here at the crack of dawn's ass.
Nice.
Because I wanted parking.
Yeah.
Because you know NAMM sucks for parking, dude.
At 9 a.m. sharp, parking's all gone.
I got here at 9:30. They got me in. It's like, okay, no problem. I said, well, holy shit. I said, I got lucked out. Oh, man.
It's good stuff. Good stuff. So, any new things, fun things? I know you've been working a lot in Atmos.
Yes.
Any new stuff that you've been learning, or new techniques, or like, just something that's making you think, or making you, like, this isn't how we used to do things.
I talked to Dave about this a long time ago. We were working on a project, our girl Felice, and he said, hey, bro, I do Atmos mixes, and then I go into the stereo world. He's doing it already at the same time. And I think that, to be honest with you, I think spatial audio is like putting a fucking chorus pedal across your stereo mix. That's what I feel.
Yeah.
But when you start doing Atmos mixes, and Dave did some really cool shit on Felice's stuff, when you work in that world, it seems like we're actually really creating art. And I think I really love that, but I don't like doing stem Atmos mixes because I can't do what I want to hear in my head because of the phase cancellation. As soon as you start doing all this shit, unless you make it mono, it's going to get lost in the mix. It's going to get
like ground up Atmos.
I do.
Okay.
I do, but the problem is we can't do that because it's minus 18 and everybody wants to hear it at minus fucking 100,000, you know what I'm saying? So it's like there's a disconnect there. So I love Dave's concept of doing the Atmos mixes, but also having a return as stereo. So then you're killing two birds with one stone. So if they want the hyped up mix, they got it. And all this stuff about trying to get it like the master, there's no friggin' way. That's why the meld thing kind of works. But I don't hear the difference between when you lower the master down to like minus 18 and you bring your mix up, it kind of falls into place. I mean, there's really nothing that you can't do. I mean, it's like, so the technology is it's like less is more, unless we're like saying, yo, do an Atmos mix. And I said, then that means we got to do it from the ground up. Gotcha. And I think that's where I'm praying that's where technology is going to go, because they have everything else. They can make a box that gives you that illusion of virtual reality Atmos mixes. I mean, it's all about phase cancellation anyway. So, as for new plugins, I mean, how many compressors can you use? Like, you know, like Jimmy says, like, what else is new? An EQ is an EQ is an EQ. You know, it's like, how much can you do across a 714? You really can't do anything. You got to do everything in the 7.2.
Right.
You know, if there's like objects compression.
No, you can do it in 714.
Afterwards, yeah.
No, you can do it I do it at the same time. Do it at the same time.
Really?
This is Bob's idea. It's like, you know, I mean, it's just, why do more than one mix? Just do one mix.
Yeah.
And
Bob Clearmount.
done with. Yeah. You know, just so now with Pro Tools you have bigger track width, so you can do a 7.1.4 and do your processing on it as you want. But you do it in Atmos. Basically, the way I started is I started in Atmos, and that mainly because I want to kind of decide and play around with the pans, because that's kind of the most important thing in Atmos, and it's the thing that can determine somewhat volume levels, general balance levels when you go back to stereo. So I just kind of get it in Atmos world to a place where I like it, then start listening in stereo and fine-tune it in stereo, see what things are, that seems a little too loud now in stereo, and bring it down a little bit. And then once I've got that feeling good, go back to Atmos again. Maybe I move some stuff around again, and you know, you go back and forth a few times, and before you know, you're done. Then I just kind of finalize it in stereo and do any processing from a live re-render, a 2.0 direct re-render, and do any extra processing that you want to do on the stereo mix. But I don't usually do that. Yeah, I mean, if I have to send it to clients who want it loud, then I will. But you know, if I'm just sending it off to mastering, it's going to have the same processing on the mix bus as the Atmos mix.
So your stereo comes from the fold down.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought that when Dave mentioned that, and actually Bob, like you said, Bob did that. And
Well, he does it differently,
Yeah.
but it's still the idea of just one mix. you know.
can we acknowledge the fact that how badly I feel for Bob and
Yeah.
Greg and Diane Warren and Spike Stent?
Yeah.
I mean, that was their livelihood. I mean, the iconic Mix This. It's like that's sad because Bob had it really. He had some different shit going on. He really did. He had like the VCA
That
compressors.
was a one-of-a-kind SSL.
That was one of a kind.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of a kind, and it's like that. But I did hear him say that, but Dave was really the one who really kind of tweaked my interest because if we're doing an Atmos mix, let us do an Atmos mix. But the labels, we want to make sure it sounds like the stereo. So then what the fuck are we doing?
Right.
It's like, well, then why ask for that? You know?
Yeah.
Well, just on that particular point, I'm very stern about the stereo mix that made people want to hear that record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I hear something that doesn't sound like that, then that's not fair to the stereo record.
That's exactly right. I totally agree.
And so that's why that particular thing exists. Personally, boys and girls, we're in a time that's been unprecedented, where the guy selling the shit is telling the makers how the music should sound.
Exactly.
And that's
exactly.
got this whole thing upside down. And quite honestly, it has me totally disinterested. I mean, if the
I
work
realize
was pouring
that.
through the door like that, I'd be interested maybe, but I'm like, I'm not even interested. Like, this is not fun.
And you don't know who to yell at, too.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know
Exactly.
anybody. I'm just
No,
like,
I
I'm
mean,
like,
you know.
it's a fucking bill of goods, and like, who gives a shit? And why are you guys telling me how to be creative? I think about the bass player. When we talk about all this shit, it's minus 18 level. I go, wait, the guy playing the bass part, what the fuck has that got to do with him?
Exactly.
Nothing. And the guy that did that is what the creation started from. So anyway, my rant's over.
Well,
I love it.
I think we all agree that pretty much all the guys I talk to about this point, about there should be just dedicated Atmos mixes that show up on the streaming services
Exactly.
as Atmos mixes.
Exactly.
I
That's
agree.
what I'm.
They're not, they're not veiling over the stereo mix,
I agree.
Because still, people don't even know that they're listening to an Atmos mix when they are. They have
Because
no
they're not
idea.
in front of
do
12. They don't have 12 speakers in their house. That's. And here's the thing, guys. Everybody's selling like Jimmy's like selling. We had this conversation, Jimmy. Remember like when I was still working at the house. It's like, who the fuck has 12 speakers? And you have to sit in the center of the room. They're selling shit like in car stereo, saying, "Oh, you're gonna get a real true Atmos mix." Not in the fucking driver's seat.
Definitely not.
You know, it's like you got to be in the center of the goddamn car to get that whole illusion. So the one thing I do believe in, and this is what I told Tina Davis, if we can use virtual mixing, that VR thing, that's different. That illusion, that's what I want to do, where you can get the depth of field and then mirror that to the video. That's where we can be creative. That's where you can be creative, but not off the stereo mix. Oh shit, here comes trouble.
Shout out Big Lou, executive producer, Faders of the Lost Art.
But yeah, so as it pertains to like things and plugins, someone turned me on to the audio movers thing
Yes.
that you can hear it in Spatial, because binaural and Spatial are two different things. And finally, that someone turned me on. Actually, Dave Kutch turned me on to that. And
Shout out Dave.
yeah, so I love that plugin for that sense. But like,
You have to you have to listen to that as you're doing it.
You got to.
Yeah, because that's what 90% of the people are listening to it on. So it's like, that's more important than what Oratones used to be. You know,
Exactly.
Right. It's like this is what they actually hear. Yeah.
I mean, we can rant and rave about the pluses and minuses. I think DeWeasel Zapper's doing something that I'm really intrigued. I don't know him personally, but he's doing some crazy shit that he's actually recording that illusion. Who better than Frank's son trying to come up with that different illusion? Deadmau5 did the same thing with his live performance. And I think that's where like arena stuff is where we should be dedicating that to, right?
Absolutely.
But DeWeasel wants to do something of that realm, and I would love to sit down with him and see what he has to say. But until we have something like good headphones that actually give us an Atmos mix, not a spatial mix, but an Atmos mix.
Yeah.
I don't know we have that yet. You know, I don't know that yet.
Well, once we do, I think that's when the consumers will actually be asking for Atmos, because they're not asking. Apple and the labels are pushing.
But I know the artists are getting pissed off because they're spending money that they're not even paying the engineers really on Atmos mixes. Like they're trying to buck me down for Atmos mixes. Hey, baby Paul, I don't do a stereo mix like that. I actually take time and redefine the Atmos mix. I A/B it. Obviously, Dave knows I work in Nuendo when I do my Atmos mixes, and it gives me that A/B thing I can do. You know, so I'm playing around with it.
Yeah.
But they're thinking like they're getting somebody from production assistant at the labels to do our mixes, our Atmos mixes that sound like dog shit when it gets out to the Apple store. That's my problem. That's my rant.
Guys, what have we been doing on kicks? Are we doing anything new on kicks this year? Kick drums.
You mentioned standard clip earlier. I use that a lot on kicks. Not live kicks, but program.
Same. I actually stopped using a lot of other stuff, and I'm only clipping. Yeah.
I've been taking a lot of this stuff off. Like honestly, I've been taking everybody's clippers off.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, you hear the kick drum come up in the mix. The one thing I don't like is that when they put the stereo bus shit on there, and they want more bottom, but they already maximized stuff.
Right.
So to get that bottom, you need to
bring
lower
the
the shit
whole
down.
thing.
Why is my shit doesn't sound louder? Then all of a sudden, I can hear my kick drum now.
Right.
But why do I hear more weight? Because we took off the clipper, we took off the L2, or the L2 Pro. It's like sometimes they don't know what they're doing.
Most.
And it's like that. So me adding is probably Bob Clearmountain's Pool Tech.
Wow.
That's it.
Nice.
That's it. That's a really nice one.
I'd like to modify that statement. Not sometimes. They don't know what they're doing. and honestly, neither do I. So we're all in the same boat, except I think my shit sounds better than theirs.
That's it.
All.
That's
Nice.
it. I agree.
That's it.
Love it.
Your shit stinks less, right?
There you go.
Dave, you have any secret sauce on kicks?
No, I don't think I do. I think this year's kick is the same as last year's as 1990s kick. It's a fucking kick drum. Sorry.
I'll take it. I'll take it. Hey, that works. That works for me. Some people need to hear that. You know, some people are like, no, I need the newest, latest shit. And it's like, dude, no, you don't. A lot of people have been doing this.
It's like what Jimmy said about the reverb. How many fucking reverbs do you need?
There you go. There you go. Whatever works.
God. I just
Actually, I will say one thing. There is one plugin that I really enjoy now, particularly on kick drum for bleed for gating, is that silencer plugin.
Yeah. Oh my
That's
God,
a good one.
Yeah, I like
That's
that.
a good one.
From
Have you checked that out?
From Black Salt.
Sorry.
Black Salt.
So that's the new secret.
There you go.
There you go, kids.
You heard it first.
Wow, it could hit. Look at all the lovely people.
This is awesome. Yeah, NAMM is such an amazing time. Dave, blessed me with this experience of, what we call our audio new year. So this is basically, actually,
That's a good term.
I call it audio new year. For a lot of us, it's the real new year. Like, we don't really party on Christmas and stuff. We party here. Yeah. So once again, thank you guys so much for joining me.
Absolutely.
This has been too real. Having literally the hottest guys probably in the world all together at one table is legendary, to say the least. So thank you guys so much. Young Tucci in the building.
Amazing stuff here.
Amazing stuff at Cloud Lifters. Bro, everybody needs one of these. Everybody. Like I said, don't mess up your mic.
You gotta get two.
Yes, you need two. Left and right. That's right. How can we forget, bro? One for you, one for me, baby. Let's go.
Don't forget to share, comment, like, and subscribe. And see you next time on Faders of the Lost Art.